Early 2000s caravans are everywhere on the market, and they range from price from £1,000 all the way up to 5,000. But are they actually a good buy or a money pit waiting to be opened? Welcome back to Caravan Watch. Today we're going to have a look at the caravans from the early 2000s, the ones that dominate the market. They're everywhere where you can see, and they look like a very good first-time buy for people that want to get into caravanning. But what do they give you though in the end? Like the newest models, in the early 2000s manufacturers already have settled up their typical layouts, which consist of going through spacious lounges, bunk beds, fixed beds and shower rooms, all varying on the size and the actual design of the caravan. But let's not forget that they're 20 plus years old now, and when we have a look at one of these, we need to be very vigilant and have a very good eye at specific areas. So today we're going to do exactly that. We're going to open up two ads for caravans in that time spectrum, and we're going to see what they have to offer. Let's dive into it. Okay, so I browsed through and got these two ads ready to have a look at today. Let's start with the Bailey Ranger. This is what we have here. Bailey Ranger 460-2, 2002 model. Cheap park exchange to clear. Good looking at the headline. And from the first look of the advert, it does not look bad. But let's see what we're going to find out. Straight away into the pictures, we've got a nice view from the side. Being a 2002 caravan, it looks nice and neat. The picture's not with the best quality though, but still gives us some view. The door has been changed. Happens. When elements on the outside get damaged, they usually get repaired or replaced. It doesn't matter that it's not the original one, but still good to notice. But apart from that, we've got everything else like caps and other little openings that we want to see. We also have the top back marker and the light. Other thing that is to notice here, there is supposed to be a metal plate here. That metal plate needs to give us all the information that we're supposed to have with the caravan: VIN number, weight, tire size, and information like that we just want to know and to check if our vehicle is suitable to tow this caravan. But apart from that, missing, I believe here, it doesn't look that bad. Nice and clean. Let's go to the next picture. You can see the style. Obviously, early 2000s, you see what the style's inside, which is not bad. This looks in a fair condition, to be fair. We've got the curtains in the front with the blinds that we can see here. The blinds on these ones are probably hidden behind these. We see the spanner for the steadies, and there is a brand new tire in there, which I presume is supposed to be the spare wheel. But on the picture, we only see the tire. Where is the actual wheel? We don't know. Hopefully we see it later on in the pictures. But again, quality is not great. Whatever we can see on this is that it's fairly clean, but nothing that actually gives us more additional information from the pictures. On the next picture here, we've got the fridge, which again looks clean with the door in place. Usually these doors tend to snap off, break the little hinges down here, but this one is on its place and it looks all right. You know, nothing major here. Usually we have to look out for this seal if it's in good state, because if not, it can get easily replaced. That's something that you can purchase and do it yourself. But again, if it's in good condition, saves you a little bit of money and work. On the next picture, we've got the oven, which looks clean, to be fair. Usually they're not in a shape like that. Glass door, a little bit of the flooring here, a little bit of dirt, but that can be cleaned, I presume. Only a picture of the oven here. Oh, we've got a picture of the grill that is on top, and the brand that is made actually this appliance. It don't look that bad. Let's not forget that it's not going to look brand new because it's over 20 years old, but nevertheless in good shape. This all's looking fine like that on the outside. We need to be sure that it's actually working correctly and there's no issues with it. On the next picture, we've got a view of the top where we see the CD here. I believe these are the speakers in the back. We're pretty far away from the corners or the windows to gain some sort of good impression here, but we've got more photos nevertheless. A lot of cabinets at the top here to put your own items in there. In these areas in the front, you want to be looking out for the condition through these cabinets right around here in the corner, and also around the curtains. Definitely in the front, trust me. You want to have a good look in there, but again, nothing major. Oh, and also forgot to mention that we've got the roof hatch here with the blinds in place, and we need to touch a lot in this area just to make sure there's no softness or leaks. And so if we can do on the top, preferably. In the next picture, again, just another step down. Here we can see the wear and tear from all the years, but that's nothing unusual there. The carpet don't look in a horrible state, but again, why is there only a tire here? I'm interested to find out what's going on with the wheel, because usually these tires in these older Caravans, in some manufacturers, they're located in the main hallway. There's a trapdoor, so to speak, and the tire fits in there. In other ones, they're in the front, in the gas compartment where the gas bottle sits. But on different manufacturers, they like to put them on swings, as they call them, underneath the Caravan, where it's constantly next to the chassis. And if you need it, you just undo it and slide it out. Okay, nothing too major from the pictures from now, apart from the wear and tear, but we can't make out really good because the quality of the pictures is not great. This window, just before we switch, is important as well, being around the hobs here, any heat, you know, to loosen up the seals or anything like that, or dirtiness, grease, and so are all the other elements like the water system, the taps, the condition of the sink, the water pump, if everything's working, pretty much all your equipment in there, you want to be sure that it's in good state. A little bit chaotic, these pictures, but forward, back, let's see where we're going to end up. The outside of the Caravan, now they're showing us the other side. This is the window around the kitchen, and this is the front bit. Here you got the entrance for the cassette toilet down here in this door, and where you put your washing fluid. And these grills are in the back of the fridge, where you got your igniter and your flue pipe. Here you got the exit for the boiler that heats up the water, and this is probably for your water pump. Don't look that bad. Again, I don't see nothing here or anything like that. The front bit's got all parts, the bit that covers the hitch. Also we see, is that only one cable? Usually these old Caravans are with the 12S and 12N standard, which means we'll have two cables in the front, one black and one grey. The black is to work all your lights when you're towing it, and the grey one is to power up any equipment that you can use whilst traveling, like the fridge, for example. These windows are problematic sometimes when they get too old. They might start cracking. There's the situation where miniature cracks, micro cracks as they're called, start getting around the corners. They like to delaminate, but again, this can be resealed or swapped around with different windows if you prefer. But just make sure you check nicely around them, because areas like here, where the hinge is sitting, if it's one full or three separate, and here are very likely to be causes of problems. Next picture, we've got a nicer view on the outside. Okay, so what I can see here is that this window is definitely cleaner, which in my understanding means that one of the windows has probably had damage or cracked and has been replaced. And I presume it's the far right one, because it looks cleaner than the other ones. The discoloration is not like on the other two, because they've had that through the years being out in the sun. But again, it looks nice and neat, to be fair, as much as we can see it. These things are your front markers here. Sometimes their seals leak and they intend to get water in there, and then it starts dripping in the back of this wall. So again, another thing you want to be looking at. And you want to look in the front compartment, definitely. First of all, if the locks work, the actual compartment can open. That's a must. And then when you're inside here, you want to be looking all the way at this point, and on the sides as well, because this area is usually covered up with sheeting, especially if the gas bottle is in there, but they don't go fully wrapped around, and there is space where you can still see the wooden framing, which is in the front, right above your head, and on your left and on your right as well. Just check, it won't hurt, and it'll give you an impression of what is the state of the wood in the back of the panels. Next picture is again like from the first side, but closer to the corner. I can see something here, but I don't know exactly what it is. Just because the angle is correct and the picture is close enough, you can actually see that there is like a bit of silicone here. Maybe something's happened, something's been resealed. We can't say exactly what it is, but let's see. It'll show maybe later on in the ad. Alright, next picture on the back side now. Nice thing with this Caravan is that the top panel does not meet the back panel somewhere around here where the marker is. It does it over here. Why? This sort of connection is nice because it's always in front of your eyes, and you don't need a special tow ladder or something else to go on the top. Whilst you're walking around your caravan, every single time you can have a quick look of what is the state of that connection. The sealants used over there with time can start losing their qualities and to start getting water in the back there, which going forward gets your back wall really soft, and it starts to run down there and cause problems either just straight down or towards the corners. Something to look out for, but it's a nice spot on this caravan. Also, like the front, all the handles are here and the corner looks nice and neat here where your owning rail goes. The lights are all in place, just need to get checked if they work. The steadies are put down on the floors, so that kind of shows that they're working correctly. Let's go to the next pictures. We're again inside. I think we already had a view of this. It'll be nice if we can see the sink, the hobs. Yeah, let's see what the seller is going to show us in the next pictures. Seeing again the cabinets over here and the second hatch that we have, which usually in the slightly newer models has a fan here to extract when you're cooking, but this one is just a small manual one to open with a little fly net. Again, another angle, this time from the door. What we can see here is a bit more wear and tear on the side. Maybe it looks hit, I'm not 100% sure, or is it just scraped? That's wear and tear. You have to be ready to accept stuff like that on a 20-plus-year-old caravan. Some of them do come in mint conditions, but there's some where, especially if you've got smaller kids whilst you're using it, it's usual, you know, you have to live with it. Next picture, again outside. I would really like to see the bathroom, but why is it not shown yet? It's interesting. Okay, all right, this is okay now. So we can see the sink. This is metal. Both of them are metal. 4 gas hobs. Here's the igniters where you operate everything and let the gas flow through. Again, you need to check them, that's a definite here. And here's your well water pump. It'll be really nice if you could do that whilst you're there to get everything hooked up. And for you to see that the water pump operates, that the gas works correctly, that the fridge turns on, because otherwise later on, you have to do that yourself before you actually take the caravan out, please. Otherwise, you go into the campsite and you end up either with no water, no fridge, oh no, lights. Good looking picture. The glass tops are in place and they're not broken, so it don't look that bad to be fair. Again, we've got another picture of the opposite side. Here the important thing is the blow air heating, which is by Truma. I believe it's a manual igniter as well as I can see on the photo. And here's the gas gauge, how strong is it gonna burn. And this is just a little dial for the fan that is back in this cabinet that blows all the hot air around. A few sockets, aerial entry. What is this? So there is something on the wall here, but I can't really say. That's not part of the wallpaper. Is either paint or is something stuck on it. Goes down to the cushion and then continues across. Okay, we didn't see that in one of the other pictures where we had in the front, but maybe because that was showing us up to the curtain. Something to look out for. Right, this ad actually comes with a video. So let's have a quick look. What is the seller showing us? Like I mentioned, there's something in the front there, it's been sealed. Don't look that bad on the outside. Can't see anything broken for the moment. You can see the back. Number plate handles, the lights are there. Okay. There's a little bit of tape on that cap just because it flaps while you're driving. Not the greatest design. Okay, 13 pin socket there. It's been changed. A little step so you can go in. Straight into the kitchen area. Roof hatch. The 2 sofas in the front, brand new tire. Yeah, those are the speakers up there. Okay, there's definitely something different with the color up there. Definitely those are your controls, your mains. This is the back. That's actually the wall that separates from the bathroom. Okay, here's the bathroom. Looks fairly clean. Again, front. Okay, that was something I wasn't expecting, an actual video walk around of the caravan. But like the pictures, so is the video. Just shows us general places, nothing special and nothing answering my questions. What's going around the front and what is that white bit on the wall to the left hand side after you enter. And also, we didn't see nothing of the bathroom like pictures. The toilet, what's happening inside the storage space next to the toilet that is straight on the back wall. Also, we didn't see nothing about the shower cubicle, which in my understanding is a big problem. because those are areas that can cause you harm later on if you decide to purchase a caravan like that, or even to go and see it. So for the risk rating, I will give 4 points to this caravan for pictures, because there was a lot, but they didn't show the areas I was expecting to see. And so we move on to the second bit of our rating. That's gonna be the description. So let's have a look. Bailey Ranger 460-2. Caravan 2002 models, part exchange to clear. We have just taken this Bailey caravan in part exchange. Clean and tidy. The last owner had it for 17 years, with just one owner prior to them, so 2 owners. That's actually not bad for a caravan of this age, having only 2 owners. Hopefully they've looked after it well. In nice clean condition inside and out, but does have some historic damp in front end, near window, top cupboard. Not the end of the world given its age and price tag. However, as a dealer, we are obliged to mention it. Either use as is or fix it yourself if you have better than average DIY skills. 100% there was something going on with that sealant in the front, but that sealant, if you ask me, is not the only place with a problem, because that wall on your left hand side window has been definitely touched up so it can prevent maybe the further expansion of that moisture. Specs include gas heating and hot water, gas cooker, gas grill, freeway fridge, front lounge converts into a double bed, washroom with set toilet, shower and sink. Chris registered with registration documents, loads of handbooks, etc. No offers. So what we've got here is a dealer selling something that came into him as part exchange. Not very extended description, but good enough if you ask me. The main points being saying what the caravan has, like equipment, but doesn't state if the caravan is going to have the gas bottles and the water barrels and the leisure battery and everything else that came with it when he took it as part exchange. But apart from that, he says that there has been a problem, and like I've said before, I prefer an honest answer saying that there was a problem, so you are aware what are you jumping into. So to be fair, to me this description works good enough, and the only other thing that I would probably disagree on is the no offers, sorry. Obviously when it gets inspected, we can see what its actual condition is, and then we can have a talk about the price. But the seller wants to state it, just so you're aware. For the description seller and the impression of the seller, I would give to this caravan 2 points, because it gives you the general information and it also says how many owners it's had before. Also, it does state that there has been a previous issue, which you would want to have a look at. And now let's go back to the top of the ad and let's see what price is this caravan advertised for. So coming back to the top, we see 1,695. And let's just dwell on that for a second. So £1,700 is not a bad price for a caravan with everything working in there. And trust me, if this caravan proves to be one of them, where it's been looked after and all the equipment is in good shape, that's absolutely fine by me. The only thing we need to have a look at is what's the situation with the damp issue. Why is it sealed in the front? Does it need resealing, or the walls that need opening? Even though the seller is mentioning that the caravan's been in part exchange and he would not go down on the price, if it's not in a very compromised condition, this caravan is worth the price he's asking for. But if you're a good enough talker, you might be able to knock a little bit more to buy yourself some supplies and patch up the caravan yourself. So I would say for the year, the condition, this price is adequate. And I believe the caravan deserves 2 points for pricing. And there you have it, one caravan down. Let's jump to the next one to see what that has installed for us. And jumping to our second advert for today, we've got this Coachman Laser 590-4 from 2002. Straight away we can see that this is a way bigger caravan, so I expect something a little bit nicer inside that one. First picture, caught on the outside, good looking. I don't see any damages on the outside. The awning rail looks in good shape, so are all the lids and the doors. I don't see anything missing here. Alloy wheels and twin axle on this one, obviously. All the covers are here on the front, Alco towing hitch, not like the previous caravan with the older model of hitch. This one has the slightly newer Alco double lock system, which catches around the tow bolt of the car from the front and from the sides, just making the caravan more stable and prevents the swaying. Jockey wheel, we see the cables that are supposed to be connected to the car here, but let's see what's going to show in the future pictures. The windows are here, I don't see anything broken, a little bit of glare which does not help. The front windows look alright as well. This being a 20+ year caravan, be sure you open up all the windows and all the doors, everything to operate as it should be, just because it could have gotten damaged over time and you want to know the state of it. And also, like the previous Caravan, typical classic wooden frame, so make sure you have a look on the outside at all the connections and the owning rails everywhere where the panels are connecting. Let's move to the next picture now. From the opposite side, it does not look bad at all. Nice and neat. Door has been changed again, but everything else looks original. These windows I like a little bit more because the frame is a little bit different and the chance of water getting in here pretty much is from this seal, which you can spot really easy and it can get rectified quite quickly. On the side of the Caravan, definitely you have to have a look at this hinge here, 100%. Also in the front compartment, you know now where the board is and onto the sides, just to make sure that everything is nice and dry. Also, the underside of the Caravan is important. Whilst having a browse on the outside of the Caravan, make sure you go down and you touch all four corners of the Caravan, just because they can identify if there has been any leaks from the top, because very rarely, but still happens, you can get moisture from the underside of the Caravan from traveling. But if the actual floor feels soggy or too soft, that is almost definitely a problem coming from the top. A picture from the back side, again very well, looking very nice. Lights back here, handles for you to be able to put it into place when you want to park it, because I don't believe there's motor movers. I didn't see one. There's a bit too shady here, but again, I don't think there is one. And the back panel on this Caravan is a different type than the Bailey Ranger. As you can see on the photos, this panel, roof and back, they connect on the top, which makes it a little bit more awkward for you guys to go in and see what's the condition of that. You need a ladder to go up to the top and check how is the joint doing, because if there's a little bit of an opening there, water finds its way straight through and starts running either on the ceiling or towards the walls, straight down to the bottom of your Caravan. So make sure you have a look at that on the top. Again as well, have a look out for miniature cracks here, because this is fiberglass, this panel, and it's one full unit, like from the top all the way down here. So if that needs to get replaced, the whole thing needs to come out. Localized repairs are of course something not uncommon. If you touch it here and there or it cracks, can always get sorted out. So again, just be sensible and have a look on the outside if everything's in good condition. Another picture from the other side, don't look that bad. Nice and neat. Top markers here. Another picture from the side. What are they trying to show us on this one? I don't think it's anything specific, but it looks pretty well to me, you know. As much as you can say from photos, again, because we're only looking at the ads. When you go in real life and see it for yourself in person, that is a totally different story. Then you're gonna get the actual impression. Here is more of a guide. Do I want to waste my time to go and see it, or should I just pass it? Very well, actually they've started doing the pictures, you know, more or less how I like them. It looks nick, it looks in good nick. Now from the back, full view. I think I know which is this Caravan, yeah though, but let's see. On the inside, okay, again, typical 2000s look, wood, a lot of cabinets. It looks clean as well, I would say. I like the pattern of this, cream and red, don't look bad at all. But it's far away from the areas we want to look at. Here, around the windows, usually we want to see in the sofa as well, down here at this corner. That rarely happens, but it shows us the layout at least. Okay, so we got a small side dinette, which 100% turns into a bunk bed. There is the mechanism over there. Over here we've got all your main controls, a little bit of shelving up here, and the blow air heating with exit points of here, and there was a couple down at this corner where the big sitting area is. Here you have your other controls for your boiler, and that is pretty much it on this photo. Carpet looks in good shape, blinds are pulled down, curtains everywhere for the minute, not bad at all. Okay, now we've got a view of the kitchen corner. Nice big sink. Always make sure that all this works. These old taps, if they're with an electric switch in there, you want to check that out because they're rather expensive. You do not want to be buying new ones, because taps like that over time and over not correct use, they do break and you don't have an opportunity to open them up to repair it. It's just a throwaway, and then you have to give around £100 for a brand new one. Or you have to hunt through the internet for a second-hand one which you do not know what condition is in. Again, your standard thing, oven, grill, and then the hob rings at the top, nice and neat, all put together with the fridge here. Electrolux, I think, is this one. Don't look that bad. Let's hope we've got a picture inside. This now could worry you, but could not worry you, because people intend to put these wallpapers for easy cleaning. You know, when we have mess and everything, it's much easier with a cloth on this one, like a surface, rather than on the wallpaper, because this one clears off very quickly and easily. But again, it could be because we've had a damp problem around the window. We need to check that out. Again, more cabinets to the top. This is the door towards the bathroom. That's going to be again a separate room. But for twin axle caravan, there isn't a lot of space for sleeping. Again, another corner. Don't look bad. It looks in good shape. I can't see anything damaged or a lot of wear and tear, you know, visual signs. Okay, we've got the table to go in with the big seating area. Usually this table is somewhere on the side. There's a very narrow space somewhere between the appliances with a skinny door, which you open, just slide your table in there. Just keeps it nice and neat whilst transportation. And after that, you open it up and you have your comfortable big table. Again, and the sofas look not good for the age they are. Again, we can see only a little bit here, but we're way too far away, and we're really interested in these corners, in this area in general. Very interested. Let's see the next pictures. Okay, they've folded the bunk bed. Show us how it looks. 2 kids, absolutely enough room to fit them, and this curtain goes all the way around to enclose the area if they want to go to sleep. Okay, radio with, that's probably the old cassette players, or is that a changer up here? Again, it's not major. You can put whatever you want in there. It's a simple plug out, plug the new one in, so that works. We see the bunch of paperwork there is up here. I don't know if we're going to get a picture of the paperwork, but let's go forward. We have a picture. So there is a lot of the manuals, the original ones. It'll be nice if we have some receipts, and when the caravan has last went for a habitat check, because believe it or not, something like that is important. When you get a caravan, especially if you're just entering the caravanning world, you do not know how to operate the different appliances. These books come in handy and they help you understand how all the equipment works. So it's nice to have them present. Otherwise, you have to search through the web for them, to download them as PDF files. And if something happens and you need access to that information, start browsing it on your phone. Oh, on the next picture, we see something very interesting. We've got an air conditioning unit in here. That is something uncommon for caravans of these years, but it's a big bonus, especially if it's really hot. Or if you prefer to be a little bit colder. The AC is a big plus, but you need to be sure that it operates correctly and that is maintained properly. Otherwise, it could be just against something looking pretty on your wall or ceiling, but not helping you out in any way. That is a nice feature, but of course, if it works, which will need to be shown when you're going to see this caravan in person. Nice little touch. Okay, we've got now pictures from the back room where the bathroom is. Deptford C200 toilet, for some reason here, this is discolored, okay, but there is like white paint. These walls look like they've been painted. Usually they do keep them throughout the whole caravan with the same pattern and the same type of wallpaper, but this is way too white. And these cabinets look a little bit different. Interesting. And the carpet is a different color. Is it? Let's have a quick look. It's red, but this one looks way darker for some reason. I don't know, I have a funny feeling that this might have been taken out and maybe there's something else put in or repainted. Something has happened in this bathroom. I don't know exactly what, but let's try and find out. Okay, shower cubicle. Looks good. But as I said, look at these walls here. So these are not plastic panels, 100%. Back in these years, when they were making the bathrooms, it wasn't like nowadays, where you have plastic paneling all the way around, sides, front and back, to make it nice and easy when you're using the shower. All water drips on, even if it gets onto the walls, everything goes down into the central tub that you're standing in. Back in the day, they put these thick wallpapers, and if they prefer, as a secondary mean, there's sometimes a rail on top of your ceiling with a curtain that goes all the way around. So this way, try and keep the water as much as you can in one point pouring down and not on the walls. But again, that was not a good decision. They've changed it over the years. But this does not look that bad, actually. The doors are not open, but we're interested in this area because if something is broken, it's gonna be here, where the drain is. The way the actual bathroom is built, there is always a little hole bigger than the drain and that is a place where if you step harshly, it'll just break through and crack your tub. Okay, but we've got some more storage space around here. Hopefully you have another picture with the doors open. No, we're going back into the kitchen. They've opened out the fridge now, which does not look that bad. It's clean. Again, it will want to clean 100%, and we see the hob rings up here. Okay, we jumped out of the bathroom, and I think this is it. Yes, that was all the photos. So for pictures in this Caravan advert, I think that again, 4 points is well deserved, and I can explain why. So there are quite a good amount of pictures, but again, we're seeing just the general state and look of the Caravan. So basically, how's the layout? There it has a kitchen, there it has equipment in there, it's got a blown air heating, stuff like that. The bathroom in the back, same thing. We've pictured it, we have a shower cubicle, but we didn't open it. We never get close to the corners of the windows, the fronts or the backs, because those are worrying areas. But I would really like to see in the future more pictures of the actual interesting places in the Caravan, because the layout can be shown in a picture or two. So can the layout of the bathroom. I want to see the problematic spaces. That's what I'm after. So sorry, but 4 points. So going down in this ad, let's see what the description says. For sale, original Blaupunk radio with speakers and CD changer. It's a twin axle Caravan with good tires and tows very well. The lights work inside and out. It has a stabilizer hitch and steps. Overall, it's still a good van to live in. It belonged to my parents and I'm selling it because I won't be using it. Come and see. Not the longest description, was it? And it pretty much told us nothing more than the pictures showed us. That is a twin axle Caravan, and it is probably suitable for you to live in there. Apart from that, and that he's selling it, no extra information. So this is a private seller. I understand that he will not be able to put that much in depth, maybe like a Caravan dealer would, information for the Caravan. But the only technical thing in here was twin axle Caravan and Blaupunk radio, which are totally not interesting things for us to know whilst looking for our next Caravan. Description score for this one would have to be 4. And now let's go back to the very top to look at the last thing we're interested in, the price, which is £2,700. And now let's think on that. Yeah, 2002 is the year of the Caravan, we already know that. But twin axle, that means that we've got over 5.5 meters of usable internal space. And the Caravan is 4-berth as well. Also, it benefits from having a separate room for your bathroom and shower, which is not common in the Caravans with a smaller size. In all fairness, if we get shown that all the equipment works and the Caravan is not leaking from somewhere dramatically, I believe that the size, the year, towards the price that it is asking is again reasonable. Because if you look for something of a similar size, just a couple of years younger, you're straight away shooting over £5,000. And I don't want to exaggerate that. So for price, I would give 2 points to this Caravan, because there is always room to negotiate. And remember, the price always depends on the condition that the Caravan is in person. Leave the advert. In real life, that determines your Caravan price. And there you have it. For today's comparison, the Bailey Ranger 460/2 gathered up 8 points, and the Coachman Laser 590/4 gathered up 10 points. What does that mean though? Both of the Caravans are in the mid-risk range, which means that they're not a bad buy, but only if the condition they're in is good enough. Or if the condition is not good enough, you're willing to make it better, obviously with a reduction in the price. The early 2000s could be a great entry point into caravanning, and a good hit for someone like you that wants to try out caravanning for himself. The only thing you need to look out for is what to look out for. See you next time in Caravan Watch.